Hello everyone, welcome back to the SBRE. We're going to do a recap of the 2013 horror fantasy movie titled Horns. In today's video, we're going to follow a heartbroken guy who's accused of murdering and assaulting his own girlfriend. As he struggles to prove everyone wrong, horns come out of his head and he starts turning into a devil. Make sure to watch the video till the end so you don't miss out on anything. Now just sit back, relax, and enjoy. The scene opens with our protagonist, Ig Parrish, spending some quality time with his girlfriend Marin. The two seem to be deeply in love before the scene cuts to the present time, where Ig wakes up from his sleep. He goes outside and sees a crowd of reporters confronting him about the recent incident. Actually, Ig has been accused of raping and murdering his girlfriend Marin. He ignores the reporters and just drives away in his car. On his way, he calls his lawyer friend Lee and tells him to meet him at his parents' house. Ig reaches his parents' house and we meet his mom, dad, and brother Terry. To Ig's surprise, his dad thinks he's the killer and he's only protecting him because he's his son. His mother tries to calm him down, but Ig is in disbelief and storms out of the place. Soon, Lee arrives there, who's currently the only lawyer who's defending him. Lee informs him that there's a new witness in the case, who can be potentially dangerous in proving him not guilty. Then Ig goes to a bar to spend some time with himself, but the bar owner has some problem with him being on trial. Luckily, the owner's daughter Glenna comforts him and asks him to stay. She's actually the trash woman of the town and has a crush on Ig. Later, Marin's loved ones gather at her grave and pray for her soul. Ig can also be seen there praying privately. After everybody leaves, Ig gets drunk and then gets angry at Marin for breaking his heart. He pisses on her photos, but Glenna arrives there and takes him home. The following day, Ig wakes up and he's shocked to see some horn-like structures popping out of her head. He asks Glenna about it, but she's only bothered by the fact that he only slept with her to reduce stress. Suddenly, Glenna starts acting weird and asks if she can eat all the donuts. Ig says why not, and she starts eating like an animal. Then Ig goes to meet his doctor and waits in the lobby. There, a spoiled kid is shouting and everyone is annoyed by her. The kid's mother tells Ig that she wants to beat the crap out of her kid. He accidentally touches her and sees her having intercourse with a black man. It looks like Ig is able to read people's memory by touching them. During his checkup, the nurse also starts telling weird things to him, and Ig realizes that people can't keep secrets when they're close to him. Then the doctor arrives, and he's also affected by the horn's power. The doctor gives anesthesia to Ig so they can cut the horns off. Due to the anesthesia, Ig goes into a flashback where he met Marin for the first time. They saw each other in a church where Marin purposefully left her cross behind. Ig took the cross so he could repair it and give it back to Marin. However, he's unable to fix it, so his brother Terry fixes it and says he wants to give it to Marin. But Ig insists that he'll give the cross and says that Marin is mine. Ig gives the cross back to Marin and the two become friends. After some time, he takes her to a playhouse in the woods. There, he reveals that actually his brother's the one that fixed the cross, but Marin says that she only loves him, and the two kiss each other. The two grew up and started dating. Both of them can be seen making love in the treehouse before Ig gets back to the present time. His horns are still uncut, and he finds the doctor and the nurse getting intimate due to the power of the horns. He immediately leaves the doctor's office and goes to meet a priest. He asks the priest to do something about his horns, but he's unable to offer any help and calls Ig guilty. Later, he meets Lee and tells him about the power of the horns. To his surprise, Lee cannot see his horns and is not affected by their power at all. Then, Ig goes to meet his mom, who also gets affected by the horn's power. She tells him that she doesn't want Ig around her at all, and it's in her helplessness that she has to talk to him. Ig is devastated by his mother's real thoughts, who asks him to go somewhere else. He tries talking to his dad, but gets the same results. On top of that, his dad insults him and says that Marin was the only good thing about him. Ig is shaken by all of this and leaves the place. He decides to use the horn's power to find the real murderer. He goes to the same bar in order to extract some information out of someone. But all of the people are only confessing useless information, and the bar owner wants to light the place on fire so he can get the insurance money. Luckily, he learns from a man that the new witness is a waitress who works at the cafe where Ig and Marin broke up. Ig immediately goes to find the waitress, and the owner lights the entire bar on fire. While leaving his car, he finds the proposal ring he prepared and goes into a flashback. He was planning to ask Marin for her hand in marriage when they met in the cafe. There, Marin informed him that she's moving to Los Angeles and that she's seeing somebody. Ig gets furious at her and says that they've been in a relationship since their childhood and she's now leaving him without any explanation. He gets stunned by her words and storms out of the place. He got drunk and slept in his car. The next morning, cops came to check on him and said that whatever happened to Mirren, it's because of him. He didn't know Mirren had been murdered, and his accidental words become the reason he was charged for the crime. Then in the present time, Ig goes to confront the waitress at the cafe. There, the waitress confesses under the horn's power that she knows nothing. She's lying about being a waitress so she can get famous and get into the eyes of movie producers. Her fake argument is that on the night they broke up, Ig took Mirren to his car. Ig says that his brother knows the truth as he saw him leave alone in the car. He goes to meet his brother Terry and asks him to shut up the waitress. However, to his surprise, his brother is affected by the horn's power and starts talking about the night Mirren was murdered. He was giving Mirren a lift when she insisted that he pulls over. He pulled over, and Mary ran into the woods crying while he dozed off in his car. Then he woke up. He saw a rock with blood on his hands. He then followed the trail and found the dead body of Mirren. He got scared and threw the rock into the sea along with his clothes to erase the proof. Back to the present time, cops show up as Ig was being aggressive with Terry. They arrest him and he spends the night in jail. The following morning, Lee gets him out of the jail and Ig tells him everything Terry saw. While talking, Ig notices that Lee is wearing Mirren's cross. He confronts him and Lee reveals that he's the guy Mirren was seeing. Ig gets upset by the betrayal and leaves from there. Later, Ig tries to get rid of the horns, but he fails miserably. Suddenly, he sees a lot of snakes following him. Turns out, he can also control snakes with the horns. Now, he goes to teach the waitress a lesson. While she was in her car, Ig's snakes attack her and ruin her beauty, so she can never get into the movie industry. Then, he goes to meet Terry. He blames him for leaving Mirren alone that night and forces him to consume too many drugs. Terry goes into a deep hallucination where he gets engulfed in the earth. Finally, Ig goes to confront Lee. While talking, he snatches his cross and Lee is now able to see the horns. Turns out, the cross has been protecting him all this time. Lee gets under the effects and starts to reveal everything. He's always been in love with Mirren and tried to convey his feelings when they were breaking up. Then on the night of their breakup, he stopped his car behind Terry's. He went into the woods to meet Mirren. He first tried to comfort her, but soon started touching her. When she resisted, he got aggressive and raped her. Mirren bit his hand, so he took a stone and hit her in the head. Then he placed the stone in Terry's hand and left from there. Now in present time, Lee throws gasoline on Ig to kill him. He lights him and his car on fire and Ig gets burnt alive. However, he's somehow able to start the car and drives into the sea. Lee thinks he's dead and spreads the news that Ig confessed his crimes to him and then committed suicide. But we see that Ig has survived the incident and he comes out of the water half burnt. He goes to meet Mirren's father, who now believes that he's innocent and loved his daughter. He gives Ig a secret key and Mirren's cross they found. When he puts it on, he transforms into a normal guy. Then Ig takes the key to their treehouse and finds a letter by Mirren. In her letter, she revealed that she deeply loved him, but she's suffering from cancer which cannot be treated, and she wanted to break up so Ig wouldn't ask her for marriage and suffer the rest of his life. Ig bursts into tears, realizing that Mirren truly loved him. Then he surprises Lee and asks him to go on a walk. Lee thinks that Ig doesn't remember anything, so he agrees. Ig takes him to Mirren's grave and asks him to confess everything. Meanwhile, Mirren's dad comes there with his shotgun, and Terry is also there. The dad threatens that he'll kill him for the crime, but Lee fights back and takes the shotgun. Lee shoots Terry in the leg and blows off the dad's head. Ig has no choice but to remove the cross from his neck. Wings come out of his body and he starts turning into a complete devil. Ig becomes a walking inferno, and Lee's shotgun has no effect on him. He runs out of bullets and Ig throws him on a tree. Then, plenty of snakes bind Lee, and he dies in the most cruel fashion possible. Then, it looks like the devil's purpose is accomplished, and Ig's body slowly turns into a stone. That was it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. What are your thoughts about this movie? Would you watch it? Have a movie you want us to recap? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.